Good morning, Inspire Velocity. Let's pump the IV into a world that needs some inspiration. First of all, I want to thank all the subscribers, about 40 subscribers in total. We're approaching about 8 hours of watch time. It's been a minute since I got with you guys. This has 3 parts to it on Saturday. Sorry I haven't been out to you guys in a little bit, but it was pretty crazy. We had the first Gamecocks home game, which was electrifying all the way around the board. A lot of Uberville stuff going on there. I did speak to a crowd that night, believe it or not, coming back from the game. And there was a girl who was saying that she just didn't know exactly how to put together. She doesn't know what to do, what she's supposed to do. Okay? That was number one that brings up today's topic. Number 2 was a gentleman who was going to his work, and he said that, he's out on his own, young age, and he's trying to figure out things. Step number 2. Step number 3 was a ride I just had that was long ride. It was a multi-stop, taking somebody somewhere, bringing them all the way back. Okay, for those that don't understand Uber, but everything came down to a couple things. And the last rider actually said to me that they were lonely and away from family, and all 3 of them had something in common. And what it's called is to understand the world of action distraction and analysis paralysis. Okay, 2 different statements. You want to know analysis paralysis, K-N-O-W, so that you can have N-O, analysis paralysis. That occurs, it's pretty simple, self-explanatory. You analyze so much, you become paralyzed. Okay? When somebody, going back to number 1, when somebody goes back and they're trying to figure out what they're supposed to do when you're a sophomore in college or a freshman in college, okay? Supposed to is a list. Maybe your job gives you a certain type of description of what you need to do. This is what you're supposed to do. When you're going out into the world and you're trying to figure out exactly how you're going to fit into this surface world, okay, what you're supposed to do turns into subliminally trying to what you think you're supposed to do based on what you're looking at externally. Action distraction happens to us. We're so busy with all these different things, trying to fit in, so forth. Analysis paralysis has happened to everybody, young and old. You're thinking about things so much, you just stay in the same spot and nothing's getting done. You got to concentrate on what you can control, okay? It's real simple. You go internal, then external. I've talked about it multiple times. But concentrating on what you can control is concentrating on your work ethic, putting in your effort into each and everything that you're doing now, because that's what you're going to take with you when you do figure out where you're going to go. If you jump right to what I'm supposed to do in life, before you are concentrating and you take your eye off of concentrating on what you can control, which is your effort into everything you're doing now, okay? Then life will get very, very cemented later on, and you'll get stuck in that. Make sense? Number 2, gentleman was talking to me, and what I stated to him was about analysis paralysis. I also said action distraction. I said, don't allow yourself to be distracted. Don't allow yourself to analyze too much at the wrong time. Proper analysis is needed, but analysis paralysis is when proper analysis is not happening. Okay? You're analyzing the wrong stuff, and what it's doing is it's cementing you over into that wrong stuff, and all you have to do is concentrate on what you can control, and then all of a sudden you're going to analyze the right stuff. What can I do today to be the best version of me today? That's it. I also told him to make sure he's going internal, and I gave him a description that I said in other videos that was just about, okay, genetic coding. Take away the parents, you're set with 2 sets of genetic coding. This is a very important point, and I gave him an exact. I said, where'd you get your nose from? He goes, my dad. I said, is it the whole nose? He goes, no, just a bridge. I said, okay, so maybe you got your left nostril from 450 years ago. Pop, boom, on your mother's side. Your right nostril from this one, boom, boom, boom. All going back through this beautiful long line of genetic coding that you have. All this greatness that can pop. Back to the movie Coco, okay? Acknowledge that you have this genetic coding and you're the latest, greatest model of it, and start going internal and realize that there's so much more to you than meets the eye, okay? Last person, lonely. I said, you never are lonely. And I used the movie Hercules. And I said, in the movie Hercules, when The Rock is playing a certain part, they think he's alone. He says, I'm not alone. I take that and I scale that to us. Okay, when I was young and I was out on my own at 17, at a young age, I used to put these angelic, imaginary angels, I called them, on my shoulder. They were my two brothers, my mother and my father, okay? And I was away from home, and this girl was away from home. And I used to say, what would my brother say to me? What would this brother say to me? What would my father say to me? What would my mother say to me? I didn't understand the internal stuff, going to the genetic coding that goes all the way back. I definitely didn't. It wasn't even a topic, okay? But that was what I played with myself to make sure I was never alone, okay? You're not alone when you go internal, and external clears up. Okay? Stay away from action distraction. Understand what it is. You're not going to miss out on anything on that phone. Okay? All the drama, all the different stuff that happens on a daily basis is always going to happen. If you're going to get cemented into it or not is the point. To not get cemented, you go internal, you give yourself some space. You better get to know yourself, because you're going to spend the most time with yourself. All three parties, analysis, paralysis. You don't have to figure out everything, and definitely don't try to figure out the wrong stuff. As soon as you can't find a way to move, know that you're taking away from the effort of that particular day. And then just reset, boom, and let's go. And once you get that down, you're going to be popping. And it's going to pop in a different way. You're concentrating on building you. Every building block of you, by acknowledging all the building blocks of you inside. Action distraction, analysis paralysis. Very, very important messages, okay? You guys have yourself a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.